What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Carl, No Coast Fab. Yeah, just hit neutral. Today, we're gonna work on this Jeep. So, let me show you what I got done to this so far. This is another one that I need to get finished up. It's been here way too long. So, I'll show you what's done. Why we're doing a video of this, because I'm gonna try something new. I'm not gonna tell the customer, so don't tell on me. And we'll get into it. Okay. It's a Jeep. It's a big old Jeep. So first, we're missing some motor parts, but we got a Hemi sitting in there. Built some mounts for that. Threw a 60 in the front, build a truss for it, some hyster arms. I still need to stiffen those up. We'll build a plate that'll bolt that to the knuckle. These old Ford knuckles crack, so that's a good fix to keep them alive. Coming under here, we flat bellied it and did a 4-link all the way around. We put her on a set of Ories all the way around. Rear, I put a truss over that, link the rear. What else? Rear frame section. So we cut the frame, kicked it in, brought it back and around. Of course, we got the Ories in the rear. Built a rear bumper, fuel cell with an in-tank pump. This I got to put a lid on so you can keep oil, straps, whatever. He is going to keep this cage because this ride has a lot of like family history, so he doesn't want to change more than he has to. Added a bar so that the seats a little bit further back. Disc brakes in the rear. These sliders, I need to change that. There was a miscommunication. I thought he wanted the script like Wendy's, the restaurant, but he wants it like the military wheelies. So we went to this. And yeah, so I gotta erase on that. So where I'm at right now is I was looking at this and he wants a step, like a rub rail, which is no big deal. But he wants a flare to come out and cover this tire so you can drive it on the street. And I've seen that done about 1,000 different ways, and I have seen about 1,000 different ways that I hate the way it looks. So I don't think I've ever seen a wide body on a Jeep like this. So he wanted body armor and then the flare and the step. I think what I'm gonna do instead, just to try something new, so we're gonna come from here, kick it out, bring it back and over, top down. I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna do in the back yet. We'll work our way to that. And hopefully we have a good answer by the time we get there. But I think it's gonna look cool. Like, I bolted these on last night. They're not welded up or anything yet, but when I put them on, like they were kicked out. And it got me thinking, I was like, God, that actually looks good not being flat. So I think we'll kick those out a little further. When this flexes, it needs to be clearanced up to about here. So we'll come up with something good to widen out this front end to kind of match the rear. And yeah, there's a front bumper and grill and all that that'll get bolted on as we go. Typical windshield Jeep dent, we'll have to fix. And I need to do something for a tailgate because his is bananaed. It's not good, and without the spare, they look like garbage. So we'll come up with something better for that, but not right now. So let me pull some measurements maybe make a couple templates. We'll tape some stuff together, try and figure something out. Then we'll get on the computer, draw it up, start burning stuff, start putting this together, and hopefully we can come up with something a little different than everybody else is doing that looks good. So let's get to it. Okay, here's where we're at. Like, I don't mind the front. This I'm okay with. The rear, I just kind of, I mean, what do you do? This is his job. It gets out where it's supposed to be. This is kind of weird, but that's the cut he want. He actually came in and drew on the Jeep where he wanted it cut. So I might change that a little bit. Maybe make it a little more angular to kind of match this. And if you don't like it, we can, well, if he doesn't like it, then we'll just unbolt this whole thing. And off to somebody who likes it, or off to scrap, one of the two. But I think that's gonna be all right. It's definitely different. It's gotta be this high so that when it flexes, this tire should tuck just inside of that. Because where it's cut back here, it comes up and it's got about that much room before it hits. So it's already super tight. But I think we might go with this. I'm gonna stare at it for a little bit more. And yeah, I think this will be a good start. So we'll start pulling a bunch of measurements and angles and everything else. I'll get it transferred over to the computer and the plasma table, get some plate thrown up there and start burning this out. Okay, so if you're doing this at home, assuming you do a good job on your patterning, you can just pop these off, lay them out on your sheet, cut it out in duplicate, and you're good to go. Where I'm gonna put this in CAD so that I can burn it out in case it ends up being something that customers want. I need to be able to repeat it. So if you're gonna do the same thing, or if you're gonna take it to somebody to have them burn it out, get yourself a digital protractor. And that way you can get all of these just perfect. And that way, like if you're having somebody burn it out for you, just go ahead and write on your templates what all your angles are gonna be, what your measurements are to your brake lines, everything else. And that's gonna help whoever has to draw this out a lot. And it'll actually help you think through the process while you're going. And that way, if something isn't quite right, like here, I want to follow that down a little bit further. So I put that point there, and then when I'll come through, I'll measure what that difference is. I'll mark it here. And when I'm drawing it, I'll just add that 2 in the drawing. And that way everything's sweet. So even if you're just going off your templates, you need to do that. So like I know I'm gonna do a mounting strip on the inside, and I'll probably do studs across the top. I'll do holes here because there's an inner support right here on these. So I'll do nut zerts so we can bolt it on here. These will be hidden on the top. It's such a steep angle that those holes would be out here by the time you got something going through it that way. But go through, manipulate everything, make sure it's just right. Any differences, make sure you mark it clearly and you'll be good. So I'm gonna finish going through, measuring this all out, get it drawn, and I'll come back after it's all burned out and we'll start tacking this together. All right, here we go. Cross your fingers, because it's too late now. Okay, hot off the press. I left this connected a little bit so we can bend that in. And then my bolt tabs here, I left those connected also so that I could bend those to whatever angle it needs to be. I think it'll give it a cool little indentation in the thing, give it a little more character. And yeah, let's see if it fits. All right, here's where we're at now. This all went in pretty good. Got the nut zerts put in, so that's bolted in. I got that back strip in. I got all those holes drilled. I just have one kind of holding it where it needs to be for right now. You see, I had a miss here. I already fixed it in the program, so the next one I burn out will be spot on for the other side. I did this arc so it was centered over the tires, so I'm gonna put, it sucks, but I'm gonna put a piece in here to smooth that out. And then the back, our struggle since the very beginning. I broke it up into a couple pieces. So you can see I got that in, I kind of angled that. I don't know if I like it, but we'll leave it until we're done with everything. Here's the next piece, the bottom lip that we had mocked up. You can see cardboard flexes, metal doesn't. So we have a, God, how am I gonna, there we go. We gotta figure out how to go from flat to angled to make that work. So more than likely, just so we're not wasting time, so I can try and get it done as fast as I can. I'm gonna throw that in the vise. I'll tip it a little bit, see what it does. If I don't like what it does, we'll come up with a new plan, but it's always better just to do something than it is to sit there and try and figure it out. Once that piece is in, I'll bend a small round that will weld in here. Then we'll shelf that. My thought with the shelf in the back, like I don't really love the way it looks, but my thought was we could do some small LED lights right here for park, brake, and turn. And that way, when he goes out wheeling and starts bashing this thing against rocks, it won't hurt him, it won't break him, they're out of the way. This whole thing's 1/8 inch. So it's not only a fender flare, but it's doubling as body armor. So I'm gonna tinker with this. I don't know how much of this I'm really gonna record because I've got a lot already and it's pretty boring footage, honestly. So we might just bounce in and out, and if something comes up, then I'll bring you guys in. So that's where we're at. So if you've got a small piece, you need to put a gradual curve in it. Jump on your vise, open it up so it's just barely grabbing the edges, like maybe 1/4 inch per side. And kind of work it. You work it slowly. Your edges here on your vise are going to keep it flat. If it starts to deviate a little bit, you can normally tell which side you need to tap on it. And it'll help keep your arcs nice and smooth. This works best for small pieces, but just something simple. Okay, we're all welded up, ground down, and smoothed out the corners. I got that little filler piece in. I did like a honeycomb pattern for the insert. All that's welded in. We got little pieces put in there. It didn't turn out too bad. So I think we're gonna call it a win. Got wrapped around the back. We're all 1/8 inch plate all the way around, so this can get rubbed on some rocks and not beat up the body. So I think we'll call it here. I got another side to do, so I'll catch y'all next time. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Click the little bell over here, wherever that little bell thing is. Click that for anything coming up, and we'll catch you next time.